All right then, first up, amidst the ongoing escalation of violence in the hilly state of Manipur, in which at least over 7 people have been killed since yesterday, with foothill villages in the valley being attacked, with now improvised rockets is what we're picking up, and bombs being dropped from drones, as ruling members of the legislative assemblies of the state met in an emergency meeting just last night. What you're looking at on your screens is a cavalcade of the Chief Minister, Biren Singh, well, of course, leaving the governor's residence. Chief Minister Biren Singh, he led a meeting of ruling party MLAs. The BJP-led government in Manipur also includes MLAs from the Naga People's Front, the National People's Party and the Janata Dal. According to sources, 24 legislators, including 6 cabinet ministers, attended this particular meeting. And after the meeting is when these visuals will make sense to you. Chief Minister Biren Singh went to the Raj Bhavan and met Governor Lakshman Acharya alone, reportedly to communicate the pressure of demanding urgent intervention by the central government. Now take a look at this. Police teams and additional security forces rushed in to conduct combing operations in the hill ranges adjoining in the areas. Bunkers at the Mualsang village and at Laika Mualsau village were completely destroyed. Further, the police teams of Bishnupur District, including the SP, rushed to the area in which they were fired upon by suspected Kuki militants. But the police team retaliated robustly and repelled the attack. A military chopper to conduct aerial patrolling has also been deployed. Anti-drone measures have been established, ladies and gentlemen, this in Manipur. The bigger question, has a red line been crossed? Senior officers of police, including the IGP and the DIGP, were quickly at the spot to take immediate countermeasures and supervise the volatile situation. High-level security meetings have been conducted to take stock of the law and order situation. Let's quickly listen to what the IGP had to say.
There was a report of one Baspati Mayum Lakhi Kumar Sarma, 41-year-old of Dibong Kunau, Jiribam. He got killed, and later, while searching in that general area where the firing took place, there are 3 dead bodies of the miscreants are found. The details of the exact miscreants are yet to be ascertained. Due to these last few days' frequent incidents, state police is reviewing the security situation and deployment very closely with the help of other forces. Now the senior officers are deployed on the ground. Even our ADG, IG, they are deployed on the ground in Bishnupur and in Jiribam and in Imphal. Due to the rogue drones which have created the recent attack in the September 1, a very good anti-drone system is deployed, that is in action. State police is in the process of purchasing more anti-drone systems and rogue drone guns, that anti-drone guns, simply to say. There is an army chopper that is doing the patrolling. We have deployed additional forces in some vulnerable areas. There is a deployment of sophisticated arms, and that is under training and in the process of purchase also, to counter the long-range attacks. We have activated our social media monitoring cell, particularly to check the instigators of violence in the social media. We have found that there are some instigators who don't come on the ground per se, but they instigate the people. They play with the emotions of the public from both the sides and make the public into mob to go for arms loot or to create a lawlessness.
Authorities are closely monitoring the situation, and the police are prepared to respond to any contingency that may arrive. Now, let's not forget, just yesterday on Saturday, at least 5 people were killed after a gun battle erupted between 2 armed groups following the killing of an elderly Methi man in Manipur's Jiribam district. Kuki militants had deployed long-range rockets among the civilian population in 2 locations of Bishnupur district, in one of which one senior citizen expired and 6 other civilians were injured. This alone in Bishnupur District, ladies and gentlemen. Now joining us to speak more on the broadcast is, of course, Major General Sanjay Mestan, defense and geopolitical expert. A very warm welcome and thanks for joining with us on the broadcast here, General. General, first and foremost, let's not, beat around the bush here. Is there a red line? Is there a line, actually? Let's not even color it. Is there a line that has been crossed? I mean, the Chief Minister was with the Governor. He went there all alone after an emergency meet, probably asking for central, intervention. Military choppers have been deployed. Anti-drone measures that have been deployed in Jiribam and in Bishnupur District. I mean, how are you looking at these latest developments in Manipur?
Yeah, Kabir, good morning. Good question. The red lines, have they been crossed and how do I look at it? See, red line was crossed the day this problem between the two communities started last year. That is for me the red line. And why? Because if the security forces, especially if the Indian army gets roped into Manipur, we are playing into the enemy hands, that is China, because they do not want us to be deployed in the conventional role along the northern borders with China. They would be too happy that the Indian army gets sucked into Manipur, and this is what we are falling into their trap. So that should be the red line, not these skirmishes, daily issues. They can't be termed as red line because the second point is, Manipur, having been served there, and you also would have been there, it's a vast area, the valley and the hill areas. Now, let's look at J&K. You have a specific area, the line of control for where counter-infiltration operations, the Indian Army is deployed, and also in the hinterland operations, the RR and Indian Army is deployed. And you see the quantum of forces deployed in that area. In Manipur, again, it is a valley, and we have a large segment of border with Myanmar and other internal states like Mizoram and Nagaland on the north and the south, respectively. Now you tell me, can the entire Indian Army monitor the entire area? It's such a vast area, 360 degrees. The terrain is so vast over there. It has, the small rivulets, the nalas,
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The topography is absolutely treacherous, General.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to understand with the military choppers that have been deployed. Manipur police put out those pictures where they were, placing on ground anti-drone systems. We earlier saw those visuals where drones are being used. There are proper cameras. I'm trying to understand, what's the warfare like over there in Manipur? What is exactly at stake now that the military is involved with the choppers and the anti-drone systems as well? I mean, what's at stake over there, General?
Yeah, what's at stake is the peace of Manipur. I would put it a little bluntly. We are fighting our own Indians. The two communities, the Metis and Kukis, are Indians. Let's be very, very clear. I think that is the start point. So either we divide them or either we prepare a roadmap. If I ask today anyone, what is a road map for peace for Manipur? I think none of us can give that answer. Has any planning been done? Has anything been thought of? We are just doing day-to-day crisis management. The armed forces, security forces are being utilized. You can induct any amount of choppers or anti-drone measures. The problem will continue. Because both sides, firstly, both the sides, I'm making it very candid, they have got high-end drones, they have all sophisticated weapons, and when I say both sides, I mean both sides have got it. Now, one side feels threatened, the other side also feels threatened. So both sides are also on an offensive maneuver and they are on a defensive maneuver. So this is a very tricky situation. And the leadership, the political leadership in Manipur, is the one which should actually unite the people. You even hear the political head there making statements against a particular community. Now, if this is the kind of stance being taken, is the leadership happy there by ruling of the divide and rule method, which the Britishers did in India? Why aren't we uniting? All people in Manipur are Indians. That's the basic fact. Now, if we keep classifying them as the two communities which are fighting, I have been in Manipur so many times. My first posting in that area was in 1982. I was in Ukhrul. I was in proper Manipur Valley. And I remember the people have been staying there peacefully. And the Indian Army, let me tell you, since 2007, Indian Army had gone for suspension of operations and we had signed, peace treaties Since 2007, I was myself involved in this as a brigadier in the Military Operations Directorate, and it was successful. The BJP government was also continuing with the Sioux peace process. Every year it was being renewed. What has gone wrong last year that suddenly the leadership in Manipur has divided the people of Manipur so badly? So therefore, your question is now red lines and what is the battlefield scenario? Battlefield scenario, if it is not resolved, if the peace process roadmap is not evolved, let me tell you, we are heading for a disaster. We are playing into the Chinese hands. You will require large quantum of security forces to be deployed here. Does it suit us? No. The answer is very clear. Why can't there be reconciliation between the two communities? And I'm sure it is possible. There are a large number of examples in the world. I was in Rwanda. The Tutsis and Houthis, who have had 5-year history of fighting against each other. Biggest genocide in 94, I was there. Biggest genocide. The same country today is united by the leadership there. Paul Kagame was an ex-army man. So Manipur has to
that is
unite
a
the
pertinent point, General. That is certainly a pertinent point that you're making. Of course, reconciliation is not impossible, but it still seems like we're far, far away from it. And like you pointed out, all those lines, whatever color you might want to give them, they have been crossed. And like General put it out there, it seems like this is a recipe for disaster unless some real hard-hitting pragmatic steps are taken on the ground in terms of peace for the hilly state of Manipur.